Good evening students, I am Dr. Shubhanti. I am working in Chem Solutions NEET Academy. I am handling the zoology subjects. Today we are going to discuss about the mock test zoology questions which is conducted on February 9th. First question, match the following. It belongs to the chapter called Animal Kingdom. It has a column A and column B. Column A has certain characters. Column B has the respective descriptions or examples. Endoparasites, Taenia solium belongs to the Platyhelminthes. Brine coral, Mandrina belongs to the phylum Coelenterata. Then spicules, it has a characteristics of choanocytes. Then triploblastic, it belongs to the mesoderm. So based on this matching, the options to this question is, the answer for this question is option 2. Okay, next question. Next question. It belongs to the chapter called cell cycle, 11th syllabus. In animal cells, during the S phase, DNA replicates in the dash and the centriole replicates in the dash. It has A and B. You have to select the A and B proper options. So in S phase, the DNA duplications or replication is the major mechanism which takes place inside the nucleus. So most probably answer for the A is nucleus, and moreover centrioles which is present in the animal cells duplicated itself in the cytoplasm. So the answer for this question is option 4. Answer for this question is option 4. A nucleus and B cytoplasm. Okay. Next, next question. Which one of the following is not the functions of the pineal gland hormone? It belongs to the chapter 11th chapter, chemical control and coordination. Pineal gland which is present inside the inside our brain, which is very which is a very important gland. Let's discuss about the roles, which is a important function in this question. Pathina, they are asking which one of the following is the not the functions of the. Usually students might have been getting confused. They are frequently observing this as a functions of the, but the question is asking about the not the functions of the pineal gland hormone. It is involved in the immune mechanism. Pineal gland is involved in the immune mechanism. Yes, of course, pineal gland is involved in the, along with the hypothalamus, it is involved in the body temperature, and of course it is involved in the basal metabolism and all that. So which is not involved in the retinal pigmentation. We have an eye which is a retina. It has a retina. Each and everyone has our own, based on the race the retina pigmentation varies. So retinal pigmentation is not the functions of the pineal gland. Next question. Impulse transmission across an dash is always faster than that across a chemical synapse, which is also rare in our system. It belongs to the neural control and coordination chapter. In this chapter, we discussed about the neurons, electrical synapses and chemical synapses and all that. The impulse which is faster, the keyword is like this. The keyword is like this. Which one is faster? Which one is faster? It's a keyword for us. The synapse which is always faster than the chemical synapse. The answer for this question is electrical synapse. 49th question is over. Next 50th one. The 50th question belongs to the breathing and exchange of gases, that's of respiratory system. In humans, trachea is a straight tube extending up to the mid-thoracic cavity which divides at the level of dash vertebrae. Humans having vertebrae, cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, and it extends up to the cochleal also. The question is the straight tube. The trachea is a straight tube which extends up to the, which trachea it was extended. That was a basic question. Direct. Fiftieth question. The answer for this question is 5th thoracic vertebrae. Up to the 5th thoracic vertebrae, the trachea is extended in the human system. Let's move to the next 51. Master following. It belongs to the chapter neural control. Match the following. Acetylcholine, it's a neurotransmitter. A deals with 4. Then synaptic cleft. The synaptic knobs between the postsynaptic neuron and the presynaptic neuron, there is a cleft which is called the synaptic cleft. Basic amino acids which is rich in the axoplasm along with the potassium ions. Next one is the myelin sheath which is involved in the insulation of the neurons. Neurons are of two types, myelinated neurons and non-myelinated neurons or unmyelinated neurons. So the neurons are surrounded by the myelin sheath which is involved in the insulation activity. So the answer for this question is fourth option, acetylcholine neurotransmitter, synaptic cleft which is a fluid filled space, basic amino acids present in the axoplasm, myelin sheath which is involved in the insulation. So the option is 4. Okay, next. Next question 52, it's a statement question regarding the frog structural organization in animals chapter. Which of the following statement is incorrect? You have to think about this. They are asking about the incorrect statement of the frog. Number 1, eyes are bulged out and covered by a nictitating membrane that protects them while in water. So inside the water also the frog can able to see. So the nictitating membrane is the protection layer of the frog eyes. The next one is on either side of the eyes a membranous tympanum. Tympanum is an organ responsible for the hearing of the animals. So tympanum which acts as a ear receives the sound signals. And the third one is frogs exhibit sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means male and female frogs are they are separated. That means they are unisexual in nature. Next, the feet have webbed digits that helps in swimming. The next one, the hind limbs end in 4 digits and they are larger and muscular than forelimbs than end in the 5 digits. They are asking you to identify which one is the incorrect statement. First, when you're immediately reads everything seems to be fine. But when you're properly observing, there are few statements which is incorrect here. Number 1, here. On either side of the eyes, a membranous tympanum receives sound signal. And here, especially the 5th statement, just observe the 5th statement. Observe the 5th statement. Here, the hind limbs contains 4 digits, which is not a proper statement, because forelimbs is the front one, hind limbs is the back one. Usually the forelimbs contains the 4 digits, hind limbs contains the 5 digits. So based on this description was twisted here, so this statement is wrong. Okay, the 5th statement is wrong. Then apart from this, when you are observing the statements, apart from this the remaining statements are right. So the answer for this question is 5th option only is the incorrect statement. So the second answer. Okay, all the remaining points are right regarding the correct statement regarding the frogs. Only the 5th statement is wrong, which they are just confusing you with the digit numbers. Hind limbs, which is present in the posterior end of the body, hind limbs contains 5 digits and the forelimbs contains the 4 digits. That was a wrong statement. So next. Next statement. Yeah, 53. The respiratory system, breathing and exchange of gases chapter. Observe the below diagram and select the correct options represents any one of the process which is mentioned in this diagram. In this diagram, the diaphragm is relaxed. They come back to the original position. The rib cages as well as everything is come back to the original position. The air present inside the lungs also which comes out, which means the process which is mentioned in this diagram is called expiration or exhalation process. Based on this, let's discuss which one is observed. Contraction of the diaphragm, no, it's a wrong statement, because in this diagram relaxation of the diaphragm takes place. So it's a wrong statement. They are insisting you to select the Correct option. So the last one is wrong. Next one is the contraction of no, they are not contract, they are relaxed. So this statement is also wrong. Next up, increase the thoracic volume. No, the thoracic volume is come back to its original condition. So second statement is also wrong. So based on that, the first statement, increased intrapulmonary pressure than the ultrapulmonary pressure. So inside there is CO2 is present, the pressure increased than compared to the atmospheric pressure. The option 1 is the right statement. Next question. Next question, cell division. Prophase of the reduction division. Meiosis cell division is called a prophase. So prophase contains the 5 phases. Prophase 1 of the meiosis cell division contains the prophases. You are aware of the order. They are insisting you to arrange that in a proper chronological order. There is a term called chronology here. They are representing here the term called chronology. By sequences, how it takes place inside the system, you have to sequence like this. So it starts with the leptotene. Basically, the 5 phases of the prophase starts with the leptotene, zygote, pachygene, diplotin and diakinesis. So then probably the answer for this question is the third option. For the 54, third one is the right statement. Next one, 55. Which one of the following options properly describing inner to outer layer? It is supposed to be the tricky one. Usually the students will fail to observe this. Here they are representing inner to outer. You should be aware of it, whether they are asking inner to outer or outer to inner. So they are asking you to identify the inner to outer layer of the human adrenal cortex, which belongs to the chemical control and coordination chapter. So there are three layers present inside the adrenal cortex: zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata and zona reticularis. The problem behind this question is you have to categorize from the inner to outer layer. So based on that, the answer for this question is third option. Zona reticularis is the innermost layer. Next one is the zona fasciculata. The next one is the zona glomerulosa. So the third option. Okay. Next, 56. Each axonal branch terminates as a bulb-like structure called dash. You have to identify the name of that bulb-like structure which is present at the terminal portion of the axons, which possess synaptic vesicle contains the chemicals. It has some chemicals. Synaptic vesicles contains chemicals. They are collectively called as neurotransmitters. So the answer for the second filling the blanks is neurotransmitters. The first one is synaptic knob. So the answer for this question is synaptic knob and neurotransmitters. 56. Synaptic knob and neurotransmitters. They are asking you to identify the axonal branch terminal position as well as it has the chemicals. You have to identify both. Next. Next, 57. The chapter belongs to the excretory system, elimination of the excretory products. Then which one of the following group of animals are amniotic in nature? Basically the amniotic are the animals which are surviving in the aquatic systems. They excrete ammonia. So the animals are commonly called as amniotic animals. So based on this we can able to categorize the animals which are inside or surviving in the aquatic system are usually considered as an amniotic organisms. Amniotic organisms. Based on that, many bony fishes, amphibians and insects. Option 2, many bony fishes, aquatic amphibians and aquatic insects. Option 3, marine fishes, amphibians and aquatic insects. Option 4, mammals, birds and reptiles. So based on this, there are apart from fourth option, all the other options contains aquatic animals. So based on the, actually these are the direct bookline question. Based on the direct bookline question, many bony fishes, aquatic amphibians and the aquatic answers are answer for this question. Some of the students might have been having a doubt. Usually amphibians are the they need both the water as well as the land. Why it even considered as an aquatic amphibians means amphibians even in the tadpole versions, even in the tadpole stage, they are primarily focused on the water substances. So those stage of the amphibians are considered as that particular stage are considered as an aquatic amphibians. So the answer for this question is many bony fishes, aquatic amphibians and aquatic insects are the examples of the amniotic group of amniotic animals or ammonia releasing animals. Next 58 which belongs to the biomolecule chapter. Identify the given chemical structures. It's basically it has a 5 carbon compound. Basically it's a 5 carbon. Here 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th. So it's a pentose sugar actually. So you have to identify whether the second position outside the ring, it has an outside the structure. In outside the ring structure, whether it has an OH or H. If it is of H, it belongs to the deoxyribose sugar, but it is of OH means that's the presence of ribose. It belongs to the sugar called ribose. It belongs to the chemical called ribose. It never belongs to glucose or fructose because glucose and fructose are the 6 carbon compound. It is a 5 carbon compound. 3 and 4, when you are comparing 3 and 4, here in second carbon position OH is present. So it belongs to the sugar called ribose, a pentose sugar. Next 59. Which among the following is incorrect about the enzymes? They are asking you to identify the incorrect statement. Incorrect about the enzymes. Oxidoreductase enzyme reductases few substrates whereas oxidizes few other substrate. Yes, the statement is right. Oxidoreductase enzyme, they are involved in reductases as well as oxidases. The statement is right on the substrates. Next one, enzyme kinetic is governed by a Michael's constant. Yes, of course, in a graph they are representing the Km value. So the statement is also right. Half Vmax value, velocity, even the statement is also right. Next, the third statement. Before moving on to the third statement, let's discuss the fourth statement. Enzymes are named after compounds or class and the names ends with A's. Yes, of course, during the concepts, during the subjects in the biology, especially in the respiration chapters and all that, there are so much of enzymes, hexokinase, enolase, pyruvic kinase, succinate dehydrogenase. So it's a typical description that it's a basic nomenclature also. Enzymes ends with the name called A's. So all the three other statements are right. Now let's move on to the third statement. The third statement represents enzymes are essential for the progress of the reaction. Yes, up to this the statement is right. The third statement is right, but and inversely proportional, it is a wrong statement. The second half of the statement is wrong and it is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate. Okay, that's why the third statement is a wrong statement. The answer for this question is 3 because they told you to identify the incorrect statement about the enzymes. In this statement, enzymes are essential for the progress of reaction. Yes, it's a true statement, but enzymes are directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate. So due to this terminology inversely, the statement is wrong. Next, 60th one. Which is from the locomotion and movement chapter. It belongs to the muscle system. Actually, it's a muscular protein. In this structure, they are giving you some options A, B, C, D. You have to look into this. In that A, actually it's an in this cross arm, actin binding sites, cross arm, and everything is here. Here, the A is ATP binding site. There are few conditions here. ATP binding site, actin binding site, cross arm, head region. These are all the common descriptions described here. Okay, wow. Based on that, the answer for this question is the fourth one because it's a A is the actin binding site, B is the ATP binding site. It's a myosin chain-like structure. In its upper position, the actins are present here. These are all the actin binding sites, and these two are the ATP binding sites. Then overall, the C is the head portions. The overall, the C is the head portion. So the head and the short neck comprises forms the cross arm. So these are all the parts in this given diagram. A, B, C, D. A, actin binding site. B is ATP binding site. C is head. D is cross arm. Next. 61. Again, excretory system regarding the nephron structures. In nephrons, NaCl is transported by the, actually the question is based on from the counter current mechanism. How the vasa recta and the normal nephrons, they are interacting their electrolytes or their urea between them. It's basically a counter current mechanism concepts. So the NaCl is transported by the dash limb of the Henle's loop, which is exchanged with the dash limb of the vasa recta. We are all aware of that. We are already aware of that. Henle's loop, it has two limbs, descending limb and ascending limb. So from the limb of a Henle's, the materials comes out and it is enters into the limb of the vasa recta. Based on that, the answer for this question is number 2. Because ascending limb, from the Henle's loop, ascending limb releases the NaCl which enters into the vasa recta through the descending limb. Actually, these are the direct bookline question. You might have been expecting these kind of direct bookline question, especially in these chapters as well as the breathing and exchange of gases chapter. From these two chapters, direct booklines they are always insisting. Next one, in echinodermata, actually this one from the animal kingdom chapter. In echinodermata, the digestive system is complete with the mouth on the lower or dash and anus on the upper or dash. The most famous example for the echinodermata is starfish. Usually starfish which is settle on the ground. It has mouth on its lower surface, okay, and the anus on its outer surface, which is totally different from the other organisms. Starfish is a well-known example. Asteriasis is the best-known example of the echinoderms. When they are on the ground, the base contains the mouth for the feeding activities. The upper portion contains the anus region. But the problem behind this, they are asking you to identify the lower portion is the dorsal side of the organisms or the ventral side of the organisms. When you may easily say it as lower side present the mouth, upper side anus is present, but they are asking you to mention the whether it's a dorsal side or ventral side. Again, it is a direct bookline question which is mentioned in the direct NCERT lines. Answer for this question pathina ventral as well as dorsal. So lower region which is the ventral side of the organisms, the upper region which is the dorsal side of the organism. Next is 63. Which is a statement question regarding the body fluids and circulation. Which one of the following statements are either true or false? You have to read all the 5 statements and you have to identify which one is true and which one is false also. Number 1, the blood transports CO2 comparatively easy because of its higher solubility. Yes, then compared to the oxygen molecules, CO2s are having a higher solubility with the hemoglobin. So the first statement is true. The blood transports CO2, carbon dioxide. Actually 2 is here, which is very which is mentioned in very small letters. CO2 comparatively easily because of its higher solubility. Yes, the statement is true. The first statement is true. Next statement. Approximately 8.9% of CO2 is transported being dissolved in plasma. No. The value here is the wrong one. So the statement is false. Second statement is false. Third one, the carbon dioxide produced by the tissues diffuses passively into the bloodstream and passes into the red blood corpuscles and reacts with water to form HCO3. Yes, of course, the statement is true. Inside the RBC, hemoglobin along with the water molecule, it is involved in the formation of the oxyhemoglobin versions and all that. So oxyhemoglobin simultaneously it is involved in the carbaminohemoglobin also while CO2 was transporting. The statement typically explaining this: the carbon dioxide produced in the tissues diffused passively into the bloodstream and it reacts with the hemoglobin present inside the RBC for the formation of the carbaminohemoglobin. So the statement is true. Next statement. The oxyhemoglobin of the erythrocytes. Usually students might have been confusing this concept with the factors affecting the the factors which are responsible for the dissociation of the oxyhemoglobin, but that concept is different from this. The oxyhemoglobin of the erythrocytes means RBC, is purely acidic in nature. They are not basic in nature. So the statement is false. Next statement. Even by observing these 4 statements, you might have been observing the answer. The answer for this statement is third option. A, C and E are true. B and D are the false statements. Even carbon dioxide combines with water molecule and forms carbonic acid due to the presence of carbonic anhydrase. The statement is also true. Okay, up to this, the 63rd question is over. Next. Pick out the correct statement regarding the selected nephron tubules. Question from the excretory system regarding the nephrons. Descending limb of the loop of Henle is impermeable to water. Ascending limb of the loop of Henle is impermeable to water. Actually, these questions are the direct bookline question from the chapter of the excretory based chapter. Direct bookline questions. As I already told you, there are a few chapters. Directly the bookline questions are asking for the NEET exams. Then breathing and exchange of gases, excretory system, body fluids. These are the 3 important chapters from the body, from the human physiology. Then answer for this question is 64, the second one, because ascending limb of the Henle's loop is permeable to water. The other statement, they told you to identify the correct statement, because in the other statement they purposely confusing you. The word permeable means passing through. The word impermeable means unable to pass through. Okay, so based on this, the second statement, ascending limb of the loop of Henle is impermeable to water, is the right statement. The other statements are purposely they are changing, altering the terminologies to making you confusing during the exam hall. Okay, next one. 65. 65. The chapter from the endocrine system. Which one of the following 11th syllabus? Which one of the following statement about hormones is or are correct? Number 1. Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals. The term nutrient means our basic compositions like glucose, proteins and vitamins. They are involved in metabolism and providing us some energies. So the word non-nutrient means they are not involving in the normal metabolism and providing us some ATPs and all that, but they are nutrient chemicals. Glucose, proteins, fats, those kind of chemicals are the nutrient chemicals. Hormones are the one which triggering like a catalyst. So they are act as a non-nutrient chemicals. The statement is right. Next one, hormones act as an intercellular messengers. Yes, of course, the hormones are enters inside the cell also. Even the steroid hormones, they can able to enter inside the cell. ஒரு செல்லுக்கு கூட அவங்களால உள்ள ஈஸியா என்ட்ரி ஆக முடியும். Even they have the capacity of entering into the nuclear membrane, and inside they have the capacity of even interacting with the DNA also. Yes, they are intercellular messengers also. This statement is also true. Third one, hormones are produced in trace amount. The word trace amount means usually there is some basic units are there like milliliter, liter, milliliter in biological, especially human samples. In hormones, they are present either in nanoliters or microliters. These are representing in the term called trace amount. Yes, the statement is also right. So based on this, correct statement about the hormones is option 4. All the above, all of these are the right statement. The given A, B, C are the right statement. 66. Question regarding the breathing and exchange of gases. Statement question. Low partial pressure of oxygen. Sorry, let's discuss the question first of all. What are all the factors favorable for the oxyhemoglobin formation? Usually there are 4 factors which are favorable to oxyhemoglobin. PO2. There are 4 factors actually. PCO2. PO2, partial pressure of oxygen. Next one is partial pressure of CO2. The another one is hydrogen ion concentrations and the subset concentration or pH like that. So these are the 4 factors which is responsible for the oxyhemoglobin association. Based on this, there are few segments which makes you to confuse you. So oxyhemoglobin உடைய favor இருக்கு. Partial pressure of oxygen increased partial pressure of oxygen. All the other 3 factors are supposed to be, the last one is the temperature. All the other 3 factors supposed to be decreased. Based on that, the option is high partial pressure of oxygen. Yes, PO2 supposed to be high. The statement is right. Next, low partial pressure of carbon dioxide. PCO2 is low. Yes, the statement is right. Next here, less hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions supposed to be reduced in number. Temperature also. Hydrogen ions deals with the pH of the compositions. Then temperature is also reduced. So the option 3 and 4 which is mentioned in the 4th statement. 3 and 4 is the right statement for this question. When you are just observing the question, it seems to be so big and question usually students might have been getting frightened at na idha observe pannala na skip pannikiren soluveenga. But when you are reading this question, it's a very 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 simplest question. Seems to be like this kind of romba vega perusa irukka mari ஒரு illusion la create பண்ணோம். But these kind of questions will make you to score the marks very easily. Next, 67. Again animal kingdom. In Platyhelminthes, the primary role of the flame cells, actually again a direct bookline question. The primary role of the flame cells is excretion and osmoregulation. The animals which is even present inside in the liquid forms, they need to maintain their osmoregulation activity. So based on this, the Platyhelminthes, the flame cells are involved in the excretion and osmoregulation. Option 2. Next, 68. Regarding the menstrual cycle, 12th syllabus, human reproduction. There are few statements. Menstrual flow lasts for 3 to 5 days. The statement seems to be yes. The first statement is right one. Next one, changes in the ovary under the uterus are induced by the changes in the level of pituitary and ovarian hormones. Yes, again the statement is true. Based on the pituitary, from the FSH and LH hormone, the ovary is being triggered, and as well as the ovarian hormone, the uterus is also being triggered. The statement seems to be right. Next is the secretion of the gonadotrophins, FSH, LH from the anterior pituitary. It increases gradually and stimulates the secretions of estrogens from the developing growing follicles. Next one, both LH and FSH attain a peak level in the middle of the cycle about the 14th day. Yes, this statement is also true. During ovulation phase, both LH and FSH increases in that female system. Next one, the corpus luteum, which is commonly called as the pregnancy hormone, secretes a large amount of progesterone. Even all the statements seems to be true only. First, then read this one. Choose the correct option regarding follicular phase. Okay, but even though they given all the statements are true regarding the menstrual cycle, but they want you to particularly select the answer which deals only with the follicular phase. The menstrual cycle deals with the basically 3 phases: menses, that's called menstruation, then follicular phase, proliferative phase, in between 14th day is the ovulatory phase, then the next one is the luteal phase. Based on that, the follicular phase, the points இங்க இருக்கிற இந்த 5 pointsல the one எது follicular phase மட்டும் டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுதோ அந்த பாயிண்ட்டை மட்டும் தான் நம்மள செலக்ட் பண்ணிருக்க சொல்லிருக்காங்க. In based on that, here there are a few points are there. இதில் சில பாயிண்ட்ஸ் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபாலிகுலர் ஃபேஸோட சம்மந்தப்பட்டது கிடையாது. ஃபார் அன் எக்ஸாம்பிள் த E1 it deals with the luteal phase, corpus luteum. After ovulation Graafian follicle இருந்து ஓவம் வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் corpus luteum ப்ரொடியூஸ் ஆகும். ஸோ it totally belongs to the luteal phase. ஸோ இந்த ஆப்ஷன் வரக்கூடாது. luteal phase இந்த ஆப்ஷன் வரக்கூடாது. வரவே கூடாது. அப்படி நீங்களே பாருங்களேன், உட்காந்து மறுபடியும் நான் எல்லாத்துக்கும் பண்ணணுமா மேம்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா there's a trick for you. This E which is present here, here, here. Then simply answer for this question is first one. The option E belongs to the luteal phase which never comes under follicular phase. So இந்த மாதிரி questions ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக நம்மளால சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ண முடியும் ஆப்ஷன்ஸை. அகைன் அண்ட் அகைன் நான் ரிப்பீட்டிங், கொஷின் சைஸை பார்த்த உடனே the question seems to be very big, I'm unable to attend this, என்னால் இதை பண்ணவே முடியாதுங்கிற உங்களுக்குள்ள அந்த டெவலப் ஆகிற அந்த ஆட்டிடியூடை தயவு செய்து ஒதுக்கிக்கங்க. even though it seems to be a long and lengthy question, but இதில் சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ணுற ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப குவைட் காமன் ஈஸி ஒன். ஓகே, கொஷின்ஸ் உடைய லென்த்தினஸை பார்த்து அந்த கொஷினை ஸ்கிப் பண்ணாதீங்க, which is not good for you. Next question 69. Match the following again from the human reproduction, pregnancy, implantation and all that. Tropoblast, here are the some selected segments. Tropoblast, it's an outer layer. Actually let's 69. Tropoblast, outer membrane of the blastocyst attached to the endometrium. So tropoblast is the one which attaches with the endometrium of the uterus. Next, cleavage. Cleavage is after the zygote is formed. Cleavage takes place on the zygote to form the 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage and 16 cell stage. So cleavage takes place on the mitotic division of the zygote. So here the tropoblast, here the zygote. This kind of match the following. இந்த மாதிரி match the following பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஈவன் நீங்கள் 1 or 2 ஆப்ஷன் செலக்ட் பண்ணிங்கனாலும் யூஸ்வலி ஆன்சர்ஸ் ஈஸியாக கிடச்சிரும். மோஸ்ட்லி சம்டைம்ஸ் தான் ட்ரிக்கி வைப்பாங்க. ஸோ A3 B4 here A3 B4 இல்லை மேம் ஐ வாண்ட் டு செக் அதர் ஆல்சோ. நோ லெட்ஸ் செக் inner cell mass. It's a group of cells that differentiate as an embryo. Next one, implantation. Here embedding of the blastocyst in the endometrium. So this kind of match the following questions la either 1 or 2 options நீங்க fix பண்ணீங்கனாலே உங்களால இந்த ஆப்ஷன்ஸை சார்ட் அவுட் பண்ண முடியும். ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. ரொம்ப ரேரா தான் all the 4 options, அதாவது சம்டைம்ஸ் இந்த 2 ஆப்ஷனுக்கு 3 4 கொடுத்துட்டு இங்கே கன்ஃபியூஸ் வைப்பாங்க. பட் மோஸ்ட்லி இந்த மாதிரி எதர் 1 or 2 ஆப்ஷன் செலக்ட் பண்ணிங்கனாலே ஈஸியாக நீங்கள் ஸ்கோர் பண்ணுற மாதிரி தான் உங்களுக்கு கன்வீனியண்ட்டாக வரும் கொஷின் பேப்பர்ஸில். அவுட் ஆஃப் 6 to 10 மேட்ச் த ஃபாலோயிங்ஸில் 2 மேட்ச் த ஃபாலோயிங்ஸ் இந்த மாதிரி கன்வீனியண்ட்டாக இருக்கும். Next one, 70th one. Which one of the following is a wrong statement? It belongs to the again human reproduction. I'm sorry, it belongs to the reproductive health. They are asking you to identify the wrong statement. Progesterone alone or in combination with estrogen can also be used by females as injections and implantations under the skin. Yes, the progesterone hormone along with the estrogen hormone is used as a implantation, skin implantation. The statement is true. Next one, the mode of action of the skin plant is similar to that of the pills and their effective. Yes, oral injection எடுக்கிற pills also contains a combination of estrogens and progesterones. So of course the effective period is also longer. The statement is true. Next one, emergency contraceptives consist of progesterones and progesterone estrogen combinations are IUDs. Yes, the statement is true. Intrauterine devices காக emergency contraceptives எடுக்கிறதுலையும் again these 2 hormones தான் combinations இருக்கு. Again the statement is true. Next, sterilizations are generally advised for the male and female partners as a temporary method to prevent any more pregnancies. டக்குன்னு ரீட் பண்ணா இந்த பாயிண்ட் கரெக்டாக இருக்க மாதிரி தான் தோணும். But the keyword is this: sterilization is a terminal method which is not a temporary method, which is a permanent method. So based on this, wrong statement is the option 4. Next, 71, assertion reason, again from the reproductive health topic. Condoms are barriers made up of thin rubber latex sheath that is used in increasing recent years. Yes, it is made up of a thin rubber sheath. The condoms are available for both male and female. The statement is true. Next one, it prevents conception and its additional benefits are protecting the user from contracting STDs and AIDS. Even STDs or STI in portal, the concepts are same. Okay, sexual tract infections, both the concepts are same. Yes, the statement is also true. Both the statement are true. The concept behind this is, even though both the statement are true, whether they are properly explaining to each other. First statement deals with the condoms and the latex sheath and usage increasing recent years. Then அதோடைய அந்த மாதிரியான IUDs அந்த மாதிரியான contraceptives உடைய additional benefits இதை பற்றி பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க. Yes, they are properly explaining each other. First சொன்ன concept உடைய uses பற்றி பேசுறாங்க. Next, 72. The question from the genetical disorders regarding the syndromes. Study the below given statement and choose the correct option with respect to the syndromes. These are all some symptoms. இங்க ஒரு 3 options கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க with the basic symptoms கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. You have to read the symptoms and identify the system belongs to the which syndromes. Okay, the first symptom shows tall stature with the feminism characters, gynecomastia. Gynecomastia is a typical characters for Klinefelter syndrome. Okay, it's a typical character for the Klinefelter syndrome. Next one shows short stature, sterility, underdeveloped feminine characters, webbed neck. Feminine characters and webbed neck, these are all the characters for the Turner syndrome. Next one shows short stature, small head, furrowed tongue, creased broad palm, and physiomotor activities and mental development is poor. These two are the typical descriptions for the Down syndrome. Based on this, there are given some options are there. So A, the option, third option, A, Klinefelter syndrome, B, Turner syndrome, C, Down syndrome is the correct option for this question. Next, 73. Next, 73. Hemophilia, again genetical disorder concept. Hemophilia is a sex-linked recessive disease. If hemophilic female marries male, the theoretical ratio of their offspring regarding the hemophilia, even again they are properly mentioning that it's a sex-linked recessive disorder. So the recessive, sex-linked recessive may be represented by 2 H's. The normal one represented by capital H and small h. Normal one. Normal. Let's start from the normal. Capital H. Then carrier. It's a sex-linked inheritance. So females alone can act as a carrier. Males are either affected or normal. Here these all for the female concepts. For the affected individuals, the two small H's were represented. Let's do this. If the mother is the hemophilic, they are saying hemophilic female marries a normal male. So the female with 2 X chromosome carries the affected 2 H genes, marries a man with normal gene. That individual is normal. So when there is a marriage between these two individuals, the ratio of their offspring being hemophilic. So as I already told you, it is a sex-linked recessive disorder. Males are either normal or affected. There is no carrier of males in sex-linked recessive disorders. So in this option, you might have been observed that males are either affected or normal. In this category, the males are affected because the males receive X chromosomes from the mother. So the sons of these couples are affected. When we are observing the females, the daughters of these couples, the daughters are carrier. So based on this, the option 4, half the daughters and half the sons are hemophilic. Half the sons of, sorry, here the half, it describing the concept of half. Sorry, here either all the offsprings are hemophilic. No, males only hemophilic. I mean, in the daughters and the sons, not all the offsprings are hemophilic, only the males are hemophilic. Next one, all girls are hemophilic. No, the girls are carrier here. Second statement is also wrong. Next, all sons are hemophilic. Yes, the statement is right. All sons are hemophilic, and of course the females are, the daughters are carriers. But in fourth statement they said half of the daughters and half of the sons are hemophilic, which means if there are two sons means one is hemophilic, one is normal. If there is two daughters means one is normal and one is hemophilic. அப்படிதான் the fourth statement describe பண்றாங்க. They are describing like this, but the statement is wrong. So the answer for this question is all sons are hemophilic. Usually this kind of students, this kind of question, students are raising a question. How can this supposed to be the answer, ma'am? Because among the offsprings, they are describing only about the son. They never ever describe anything about the daughters. How can this supposed to be the correct answer? Actually, basically, என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, they are giving you only the half of the answers. So based on that, you have to identify the answer. In the category la, இவங்களுடைய offspringsல all the sons are hemophilic, all the daughters are carriers. So the answer for this question is option 3. Next, 74. It's a principal inheritance. 12th chapter, principles and basis of inheritance. Which one of the following traits studied by Mendel in Pisum sativum was a recessive character? So we are all aware of that. Gregor Mendel, who studied about the 1 gene inheritance and 2 gene inheritance with the help of Pisum, he is using 7 contrasting characters. Among that, which one is in the given 4 options, which one is the recessive one? Axial flower, green seed color, axial flower position, green seed color, green pod color, yellow seed color. Among the given 4 options, the green seed color is the answer for this questions. And on one more information, instead of seed, even sometimes they might have been mentioned as cotyledon also. Okay, cotyledons also. So either in this segment, instead of seed, they are even mentioning the cotyledon. That is also supposed to be the answer. Next, 75. Lacopron concept, molecular basis of inheritance, 12th chapter. Observe the below diagram and choose the correct options for 1, 2 and 3, 4. The question itself seems to be very easy. ரொம்ப ஈஸியாக இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்கும். டக்கு டக்குன்னு ஆன்சர் போட்டு போயிடுறேன். நம்பர் 1 என்ன? Yes, it's an inactive repressor. Number 2, beta galactosidase. Number அடுத்து permease. Next, transacetase. But that was a wrong answer because just observe the 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, the one is mentioned here. But 2 was here. This was the confusion stage. So 1 is inactive repressors. The 4 is beta galactosidase. So 1 is inactive repressor, 4 is beta galactosidase, number 3 is permease, number 2 is transacetylase. Based on this, the answer for this question is option 2. The 1 is inactive repressor, the 2 is transacetylase, number 3 is permease, number 4 is beta galactosidase. Next, 76. Again, human DNA regarding concepts, DNA structures. The salient features of the double helical structures of the DNA are given below. Select the correct options with respect to the features of the DNA. They are insisting you to identify the correct options regarding the features of the DNA. First point, they are made up of 2 polynucleotide chain. Yes, the statement is right. DNA is a double helical structure which is made up of 2 polynucleotide chain. The answer is right. Next one, the 2 chains are parallel and both has polarity. No, it's a wrong statement. Among the 2 DNA strands, if it is 1 is 3 means the another one is supposed to be, the polarities are supposed to be opposite. So both of them has the same polarity. The statement is wrong. Next one, the bases in two strands are paired through hydrogen bond? Yes, of course. In DNA, A is paired with T. G is paired with C by 3 hydrogen bonds. Here 2 hydrogen bonds. Yes, the statement is right. Next, the two chains may or may not be coiled. The statement is wrong because the two chains are supposed to be coiled with each other. So based on this, the statement is wrong. Next one, the distance between the base of the two helices is 0.24 nanometer. The statement is right. Next, hydrogen bonds confer stability of the helical structure. Direct bookline question. Fifth point of the salient features of the James Watson. Yes, the statement is also true. Based on this, you might have been observing the right statement of first option, third one, then fourth and fifth. Based on this, the correct statement is the fourth one. Sorry, but second one I said wrong here. Sorry. 1, 3, then here 2 helix, not between the 2 helices 0.34, I am sorry, not the 2 helices 0.34, the between the distance between the previous one and the later one, the distance between the here some base is there, here some base is there, the distance between these two is 0.34. So the statement 5 is wrong. So answer for this is fourth option. 1, 3 and 6th one are the right statement. 77. DNA fingerprinting. The technique of transferring DNA fragments separated on an agarose gel to a synthetic medium such a nitrocellulose paper. The concept is called, actually these are all the direct bookline question. The answer is southern blotting. The other terms, northern blotting, dot blotting are not mentioned in your textbooks. Just for the confusion they are giving you. It's a direct bookline question. The concept is the transferring of DNA fragments into the nitrocellulose papers. This was called southern blotting. Next, 78. Write the correct genetical sequences for the given correct genetic information during the formation of polypeptide chain. Actually, they are asking us to categorize the transcription and translation. From DNA, mRNA was there. mRNA is read by rRNA and tRNA, and finally the amino acids. This was the basic sequences, the central dogma concept. But here, in this concept, some of the concepts are confusing. Next to DNA, there is no tRNA. Actually, it is supposed to be mRNA. So, the first statement is, they are asking to identify the correct sequence. So, the order is supposed to be in a proper. They are asking you to identify the correct sequence. So, after DNA, there is no tRNA. So, the statement is wrong. Next to mRNA and RNA, there is no DNA. So, this statement is also wrong. Next to rRNA, there is no DNA. This statement is also wrong. All these three statements are wrong. But when you are observing here, DNA, yes, RNA, yes. Next, tRNA, amino acid, even though in between rRNA also supposed to comes, but even though the flow was correct. So, the fourth option is the right answer of DNA, mRNA, tRNA and amino acid. When comparing to all the remaining three options, the fourth option is the right one. Next one, 79, assertion reason regarding the multiple alleles, ABO blood grouping system. Assertion, person with ABO blood group, person with blood group AB and can take blood from any other person. Yes, they are the universal recipients AB blood group. They can receive blood from any other blood groups. A, B, O and AB. So, yes, of course, the statement is right. Next one, blood group incompatibility. The word incompatibility means mismatching. By mistakenly, if the person with the B blood group transfused with the A blood group, there is a incompatibility takes place between the antigen antibody reaction takes place inside the inside the patients. So, the patients ends with any fatal conditions. So blood group incompatibility is due to the antigen antibody reaction, whereas up to this the one half of the statement is over. Next half of the statement, whereas the person with the AB group has no antibody and thus antigens of the other group is not affected. Yes, we are aware of it. AB blood group persons there are no antibodies, which means there is no A antibody as well as no B antibody. A and B antigen presence, that's why they are called as AB blood group, but the antibodies A and B are absent. Yes, both the statements of assertion and reasons are their true statements. Let's discuss whether they are properly explaining each other. Yes, of course they are properly explaining each other, which means here they are describing about the universal recipient. Here why they are considered as an universal recipient descriptions was mentioned over there. So assertion reasons are they are properly explaining each other. Next one, 80th question. According to Hardy-Weinberg law, it's an evolution chapter from the 12th. Hardy-Weinberg law, Hardy-Weinberg principles, the conditions necessary for the gene frequencies to remain constant. It's a key for us. Remains constant. Okay, mostly students prefer this answer, but just look this option. Mating must not be completely random is a wrong statement. Mating, the copulation, the fertilization between the organisms supposed to be random, completely random. So that statement not be completely random is a wrong statement. They never maintain the Hardy-Weinberg law as a constant one. Then mutation must not occur. Yes, mutation is one of the factors which disturb the Hardy-Weinberg law. Among the 5 factors, mutation is one of the factors. Next one, all genes must have the equal chances of being passed to the next generations. Based on this, the Hardy-Weinberg law describing and pathina, yes, all the genes has to be equally passing to the successive generations. Hybridization, again hybridization is a kind of it's a part of a recombination. It disturbs the constant ability of the Hardy-Weinberg law. So B and C are the basic conditions which maintain the Hardy-Weinberg law. The answer for this question is option 4. Next. Regarding the evolution, read the following statement and select the correct option. Amphibians evolved into reptiles. Yes, the answer is right. From the amphibians, from the vertebrates, fishes are converted into, fishes are evolved into amphibians, amphibians are evolved into reptiles, reptiles are evolved into aves, aves are evolved into mammals. It was a basic chain of evolution. Then next one, yes, it's a true statement. Next. Next, fishes with stout and strong fins could move on a land and go back to water. This is about stout and strong fins makes the fishes which comes out of the water and survive in the muddy environment, which makes them surviving. So, and of course, this statement is right. Next statement, giant forms were present, but they are all fell to form coal deposits slowly. Yes, giant forms, whatever present during the Jurassic and Triassic period, they fell and forms a coal deposit. Whatever we are enjoying the coals and petroleums and all that, actually they are all converted from the giant forms. Yes, the statement is right. Next, D statement. About 65 million years ago, the dinosaurs suddenly dominated the earth. No, they suddenly disappeared from the earth. This statement is wrong. Next, Archaeopteryx is a connection link between the reptiles and birds. Yes, we have fossils of Archaeopteryx. Yes, the statement is right. So, among the given 5 statements, D is the wrong one. So, the answer is only A, B, C and E are the correct statement. Next, chronological sequencing. Again from the evolution, arrange the periods of different eras in the chronological order. In the chronological order based on the appearance in our geological time scale. In the geological time scale, Jurassic, Cretaceous, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous and Permian. These are the direct book questions from the diagram. In this diagram, both plants as well as the reptiles, they were giving you the era as well as the period, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras. Even in this, in each era, they will give you the periods. So based on this, the answer for this question is the direct bookline question. So we can directly move on to the answer. Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian, Triassic and Jurassic. It's the right answer for this question. Select the correct statement regarding the concepts of human reproduction. Human reproduction based concepts. In females, the second meiotic division is also unequal. Yes, second meiotic division is also unequal and it forms second polar body and haploid ovum. Yes, the statement is right. But even though the first statement seems to be right, we have to read everything. During fertilization, the motile sperms swim rapidly. Okay, up to this the statement is right. Passes through the oviduct and enter the uterus. You might have been observed this. The statements were switched back. First the sperms has to enter the uterus, then it has to move to the oviduct. So the complete concept is purposely changed. So the motile sperm swim rapidly, enters into the uterus, then pass through the oviduct and finally reach the ampullary region. So based on this exchange, the statement is wrong. Next one. In females, corpus luteum secretes a large amount of progesterone. Yes, up to this the statement is true, which is essential for the, not the germinal epithelium of the oviduct, which is for the maintenance of the embryo in the uterus, embryonic development. So the statement is wrong. Next, during fertilization, the secretions of the acrosome helps the complete sperm. During fertilization, the complete sperm never ever enter into the ovum. Even the head portion, inside the head portion, only the genetical composition only enters into the female gamete. So due to this single word, the statement is considered as wrong. So as usual, the answer for this question is 83, first option. Next, 84, statement, highly qualified psychologist as well as psychiatrist, de-addiction, rehabilitation. It's from the human health and disease chapter. It's based on the drug and alcohol abuse, how to treat them. Rehabilitation programs to help individuals who have unfortunately got into the quagmire of drug and alcohol abuse. Yes, it's a direct bookline statement. Yes, it's a right statement. These are all the professionals. These are the professionals which helps the individual to come out of all the evil activities in the name of alcohol or drugs and so on. So it's a right statement. Next one, appropriate measures would then be required to diagnose the malady and the underlying causes. Yes, not only just literally making them to sit and then listen to us, we have to identify what are the basic reason behind that misbehavior, why they are taking drugs, why they are taking alcohol. This kind of observations also necessary. So both the statements are true. Yes, the statement is right. Statement 1 and 2 are the right statement. Next, 85, diagram based question from the human health and disease chapter, antibodies diagram. The given parts, if you are well versed with the given parts, means the question is very easy. The option A is the light chain, option B is the heavy chain. Here the option C's are the antigen binding site. Here these are the antigen binding site, option C, and option D is the disulfide bonds. So the option 4 is the right statement. A is the light bonds, a light chain, B is the heavy chain, and C's are the antigen binding sites, and D is the disulfide bonds. '86, match the following from the human health and disease. Select the correct option about the disorder, causative factors and effect organ. Let's discuss from the base of the content. Ringworm, yes, it's due to the fungal species epidermophyton, but the affected organ is not the T lymphocytes. It is wrong. It is the skin. So based on this, the fourth option is wrong. Next, pneumonia. Yes, the causative factor is Streptococcus pneumoniae, Streptococcus, but it is not the neuromuscular junction. It is a respiratory tract or respiratory system. Upper respiratory, lungs. Lower respiratory system is affected by the pneumonial species. Next, Ascaris. It is yes, it's a nematode species, but it affects not the scrotum of the individual. So it's a wrong. Of course, the intestine is the right one, but the given option scrotum is the wrong statement. So by sort outing the remaining three, and of course ultimately the first option is the right statement. Rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disorder, it affects the joints of the individual due to the effect of the immunoglobulin M into their own tissues. So the option for this question is first option. 87. Select the correct statement regarding the Human Genome Project. It's a Human Genome Project. You have to identify the right statement. In determining the sequences of the 3 billion chemical base pairs that make up the human DNA is one of the most important goal. Yes, it's an important goal in the projects. Important goal, 3 billion bases identify பண்ணனும் அவங்க ஆசைப்பட்டாங்க. Next, during the later years of the HGP, no, during the earlier years of the HGP தான் Wellcome Trust is entered and become the major partner and their additional contributors are being added. So due to this single word, the concept is being changed. They are not the later years, earlier years. So this statement is wrong. Next one, many non-human model organisms such as, there are some examples are mentioned there, they are sequenced after human chromosomes. No, they are all sequenced before the human chromosome. Based on this single word, the statement is wrong. Next, the fourth statement, among the 24 chromosomes, the last chromosome sequenced was the chromosome 1 in May 2006. Yes, this also the right one. So the option A and D are the right statement. Answer for this question is option 2. Next, 88. The short sequence of the bases of the one strand, which is of basically molecular basis question, 12th syllabus. One strand of the DNA, here the nitrogenous bases are mentioned. If this sequence serves as a template, you might have been observing this. This one acts as a template. This one acts as a template. Okay. So based on this responding, you have to identify what will be the corresponding base sequences in the new strand. That one is act as a template strand. Based on this, in this question, they want you to identify the DNA strands, not the mRNA and anything. So they want you to make the DNA strands. If your keeps on A means T, G means C, A means T, then if I keep on transcribing if I keep on base pairing this is supposed to be the answer. A paired with the T, then G, C, T, A, C, G, it will keeps on going on. So answer for this question is option 2. 89, match the following from the answer keys konja eriruchu, sorry. It is from the transcriptions and polymerases, enzymes and all that. Operator sites, promoter sites, structural sites and all that. Answer for this question pathina, the first option here. A paired with the 2, B first option, C third option, D fourth option, the first statement. The operator site deals with the binding site for the repressor molecule. Here the promoter site option for the binding site of the RNA polymerase. Structural gene codes for the enzyme protein. regulator gene codes for the repressor molecules. Actually, these are the lacopron based concepts. In this site, what are all the molecules binds அப்படிங்கிற descriptions. The answer for this question is the first option. Next, the last question. 90th one, select the correct statement. Let's again, as usual, let's move on from the base. Fourth option is the all the above. Let's move on to the third one. Sutton and Bovary noted that the behavior of the chromosomes was parallel to the behavior of the genes and used chromosome movement to explain Morgan's law. But they never tried to explain the Morgan's law. They tried to explain the Mendel's law. So based on this word, the statement is considered as wrong. Apart from this, all the remaining concepts given in this statement is right. Second statement, Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomenon was totally new and acceptable to many of the biologists of his time. Actually, it's a wrong statement. They are not acceptable. The utilization of mathematics in biological concepts is not accepted in those days, which actually it's a non-acceptable version for the Mendel. The third and second statements are wrong statement. Let's move on to the first statement. In dihybrid cross, the F1 plants are self-hybridized, which resulted that 3/4 of the F2 plants had yellow and 1/4 of the had green seeds. Actually, these are the direct bookline questions from the dihybrid cross, 2 gene inheritance. The yellow and the green color segregated into a 3:1 ratio, whereas round and wrinkled seed shapes also segregated into the 3:1 ratio. Yes, it's a dihybrid cross. Individual genes are resulted in the 3:1 ratio, which is final resulted as 9:3:3:1 ratio. Yes, the statement is right. So, of course, the fourth statement is all the above, which is not the right one. So finally, for the 90th question, the first option is the right answer. So up to this, all the 45 questions from the 46 to 90 questions are discussed. I hope that you understand. Okay, thank you.